The Olympics are officially underway, and Hawaii's athletes are having a blast. Judging from their social media posts, you can watch the complete opening ceremony in full coming up at 1:30 right here on KHNL. Hey everyone, Jonathan and Ashley here, coming to you from the brand new H&N Digital Center.
Thank you so much for watching our first Hawaii News Now Olympic Shortcast. Let's send it right over to NBC's Liz McLaughlin with the latest from Tokyo.
United States of America. Team USA together at last. A force to be reckoned with at 613 strong.
Second largest Olympic team in U.S. history.
First Lady Jill Biden was one of the few to witness the opening ceremony in person, as flag bearers Eddie Alvarez and Sue Bird led the U.S. in the Parade of Nations. And tennis star Naomi Osaka lit the Olympic cauldron in her home country. Outside of the stadium, coronavirus concerns still hover over the event. Some Japanese citizens gathering to protest the Olympics as cases continue to rise in Tokyo. But members of the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee say the decision to hold the Games was the right one.
I think the health and safety measures that have been implemented are exceptional, and I'm very confident that we can have a safe and successful Games.
Now U.S. athletes are aiming for gold, showing strong Friday in archery and rowing preliminary events.
Followed by Kara Kohler of the United States.
Kara Kohler advancing in single sculls.
A little surreal, like having to remind myself, wow, I'm at the Olympic Games, finally.
The opportunity may be even sweeter when you've had to wait for it. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News, Tokyo.
American Olympic water polo athletes expressed their excitement for the upcoming competition. The athletes also shared their challenges in coping with the unique restrictions due to the pandemic.
We trained 5 years.
Here's one of our Hawaii athletes, Jesse Smith.
And this Games, I mentioned earlier how much work has gone into hosting it and setting it up. So we're really appreciative for that opportunity. And the Olympics, the ideals of it, bringing the whole world together to compete peacefully, that's why we're here. So we're so fired up, and I would love to go to the opening ceremonies. It didn't work out. We weren't able to figure out a way, but fortunately that happened to me. This is my 5th Games. I've walked before, and I love for my kids to be able to see me on TV and see my teammates.
All eyes will be on the men's USA volleyball team, which features 3 local players on the roster. Volleyball podcast Out of System broke down the field of competition ahead of the opening rounds with Steve Uehara.
And we have the guys again from Out of System back with more insight. Joe Worsley, Gage Worsley, Micah Ma'a, a trio of collegiate All-Americans, all with Hawaii ties. And this time we want to talk specifically about the game itself and the differences from what we're used to seeing, right? We know that Olympic volleyball is a little different than what we're accustomed to. Micah, what's the biggest difference, do you think, that we as spectators are going to notice?
Oh gosh, I think the level is super high. I think what you're going to see is a lot more physicality. The people that are making it to the Olympics are all incredible athletes, touching over 11 feet at everybody. A lot of guys that are over 7 feet. A lot of guys that are skying, and a lot of guys that hit the ball really, really hard. That's something that I would say is going to pop out to the average person watching the game. If you're an avid watcher of volleyball, you'll probably notice some other things like the ball control and the smart plays here and there. But to the average person, you're going to see some very physical volleyball. And that's something that I think is really fun to watch as well.
Yeah, Joe, the format is also different, right? It's not like the NCAA tournament. It's not like one and done. There's a group element to this, right?
Correct. Yeah. And so in the group stage, you have a total of 12 teams, 6 in each pool, and top 4 make it out of each pool. So you have to win theoretically 2 games out of pool to make it out. And so actually the U.S. benefited, the men's benefited last Olympics in 2016 when they came out, they had a rough start, lost to Canada early, and were able to bounce back and still get into the bronze medal match game. And so that allows for that, where versus like a single limb tournament, they would have been out immediately.
Yeah, Gage, I thought this would be a great question for you. You have this interesting perspective, having played last year at the University of Hawaii without fans. And this is kind of going to be the situation that they're going to see in Tokyo because they're limiting everything because of COVID. How different is that, considering you've seen both, right? You've seen the packed house and you've seen nobody. So what are they going to experience?
I mean, the biggest thing is you're gonna have to rely on whoever for Team USA. It's gonna be Eric Shoji, who's their energy guy. They're the big energy guy who's gonna get everyone pumped. You're gonna hear, maybe as a fan, you're gonna hear stuff that you wouldn't be hearing on the court, talking between plays, whether it's good or bad. Like I said, you normally not hear. But also, I mean, overall it does affect you, right? Because I felt it, and they didn't have fans at VNL, yeah. So they had a prior tournament to this VNL. They were there for about 6 weeks or so, and they had no spectators there. They played all the top teams. So they're not gonna walk into it like cold turkey. They're gonna have like a little practice with it. So that might have been a little rougher than what the Olympics are gonna experience, but at the same time, it's the biggest games of their lives. So they're gonna feel it, and I think all of them are not gonna have any problem bringing the energy that is needed to try and match what they're used to.
Yeah, Joe, Gage, Micah, again, thanks for the time. By the way, we mentioned that there's no spectators there, but you can watch at home. Make sure you tune into KHNL for all your Olympic action and more from the guys of Out of System on our website, HawaiiNewsNow.com. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, guys. All right, let's see what our Hawaii Olympians are up to. We showed a little bit of this, but here are some more of their social media posts. In these posts, you can see our team at the opening ceremony, decked out in their Team USA gear. We have Micah, Christensen, Kavika, Shoji, who are competing in indoor volleyball, of course, and Triborn, who will be battling it out on the beach.
Oh, yeah. And our Olympians are also giving us a sneak peek into where they'll be competing and what they'll be wearing. So Oahu native Mahina Maeda, who is surfing for Japan, her parents' home country, posted a pic of her locker. 4-time world surfing champ Carissa Moore is all smiles with her red jersey, sporting the number 1, sending good vibes there. And Kona's Teyana Adams, who will swim for the Federated States of Micronesia, took us to the pool.
And we're getting some culture lessons too, right, Ash?
That's right. So Sakura Kokumai, she's going to be competing in karate, posted this video about the traditional Japanese daruma doll. Now, you've probably seen these cute round dolls in different sizes, maybe in a store or a restaurant. That's because they are a symbol of perseverance, patience, and good luck. So when you get one, both eyes are blank, and so you have to color in one eye with a wish or a goal, and then when you accomplish that goal, you fill in the second eye. In her post, Kokumai said, quote, "My wish, a medal. I hope to have a complete daruma by the end of summer."
Well, as we take a look at that Olympic Flames, I wanted to let you know the Summer Games are going to be a scorcher is what it's looking like. Temperatures in the 90s. We got Ian Lee standing by with how people are beating the heat.
These cheerleaders in Japan are having fun in the sun, getting folks pumped for the Olympic Games. But it's a tough sell when it's hot, humid, and just plain miserable outside. The humidity and heat are ridiculous, this woman says. I personally don't think this weather is suitable for the Olympics. Misters around the city are struggling to keep people cool as temperatures top 90 degrees. Some athletes can't cope. This Russian archer fainted Friday during a qualifying round. The American rugby team is pulling out all the stops to tackle the stifling temperatures.
We have slushies, we have proper cooling methods, ice baths and stuff like that.
Others figured if you can't beat the heat, you might as well prepare for it. New Zealand's men's hockey team spent months sweltering in heat chambers at home to get acclimated.
And had plenty of time in the heat chamber and plenty of training to be able to get ourselves as good as we can from within New Zealand.
Tokyo's heat even has some medical experts worried that heat stroke could be confused with COVID. Both share similar symptoms like high fever and dehydration. With the games now fully underway, one of the biggest contenders for athletes may just be the heat. Ian Lee, CBS News.
With the opening ceremony being rebroadcast tonight, Hawaii's Olympians will see their first action dark and early tomorrow morning. Now, the U.S. men's volleyball team and our 3 local boys play France in the Olympic opener. That starts at 2:45 a.m. Hawaii time. You can watch it live as long as you wake up in time. The first surfing action of the Olympics could take place as early as 3 a.m. tomorrow. That's if the waves cooperate. The window for Olympic surfing ends on July 31st. And Kailua native Jesse Smith begins his 5th Olympic Games when the U.S. water polo team plays Japan. That match starts at 7:10 p.m. tomorrow. You can watch it all live on CNBC.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, and of course, everyone's going to be cheering on Team USA, but it may be a little extra loud in Manoa. Don't worry, it's probably just the Shoji family. That's because they have a lot to be excited about. Stephanie Lum spoke with them.
There's going to be a whole lot of people watching with us, friends and family and grandkids.
Mary and Dave Shoji are the proud parents of the Brogies. The Shoji brothers on the men's USA volleyball team. Eric and Kavika, who's the team captain.
When the ball served to Eric, I'm very, very nervous. You know, I want him to do well. I'm constantly, I guess, coaching and watching the game and trying to pick up things and seeing what the other team is doing, see what our team is doing.
We might need 2 different TVs going at the same time because Dave sometimes, honestly, makes it very difficult to watch with him because of that intensity that he's talking about. And once in a while, I just have to say, can you just please be quiet?
Volleyball is in their blood. Dave Shoji is Hawaii's winningest coach ever for the UH Wahine. Mary coached volleyball for Punahou. Daughter Kobe played in college and was director of volleyball operations at Stanford. This is Kavika and Eric's second Olympic Games. They took home the bronze in Rio in 2016.
It was an amazing experience. I just feel for, other families that haven't yet had that in-person experience.
Once the whistle blows, it's all business.
Maciej Mozej, look Perry, jeszcze tu walczy Shoji. Oj, obronił tę piłkę Kuba Jarosz, ależ akcja!
They don't need any fans to fire them up. Trust me, they're gonna be competing at a very high level.
What's the Shoji's secret? How can we raise our children to be successful?
Anything is possible. Eric's doesn't jump high. He's not tall. Kavika is not very quick. He doesn't jump high. But what they have is skill. They're self-made. They are very, very competitive. They're focused.
I've always reminded them to never forget where they came from.
They know what they want. And they know mom and dad like watching every move, but they don't need anything from us, trust me.
I can't believe you just said that.
All right, who's excited?
Oh my gosh.
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
So you guys, that was our first Olympic shortcast. We'll be coming to you all throughout the Olympic Games. So tune in with me and Ashley, coming to you right here from the H&N Digital Center. You guys have some fun watching those games.
The Olympic Shortcast from Hawaii News Now is brought to you by Farmers Hawaii.